as are preaching against it, and as are also doing different thing, we want to use the scripture to set the record straight so that those dilemma in the minds of people will be cleared out. Now, that scripture has to do with Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5, that says that a woman must not wear a man's clothing. I'm reading for the Message Bible. A woman must not wear a man's clothing, nor a man wear a woman's clothing. This kind of thing is an abomination unto the Lord, our God. It's an abomination unto the Lord, our God. We find the crucial word is abomination unto the Lord, our God. Now, if you look at this scripture, there's no mention of trouser. But it seems like the most controversial word everybody is gleaning from this particular verse has to do with trouser. But there's no mention of trouser. It is saying that anything that pertains to a woman, a woman should not wear it, vice versa. Now, why is it that most people are emphasizing on trouser? And what you have to look at from this scripture has to do with what kind of dress a woman or man will wear. That is going to be abominable or abomination unto the Lord. If you look at the word abomination from scripture point of view, you see that anytime the word abomination is connected to a word, it has something to do with idolatry, idol worship. Among the 10 commandments, statements, you realize that we should not bow down to any other graven image. Is abomination unto the Lord. So if you look at what the Antichrist is also going to do, deserving worship or calling for worship is also called abomination. Now, if you do a further studies of this particular scripture, you find out that it has nothing to do with what you call dress. Whatever a man is wearing from this context, they say a woman should not wear it. Vice versa, it is abominable unto the Lord. Background studies will let you know that before I explain. If you look at the same chapter 22, verse number 9, it says that do not plant two kinds of seed in your vineyard, and you will forfeit what you have sown and total production of the vineyard. Now, the idea is that the same chapter is also talking about if you plant corn on your land, you should not add tomatoes or pepper or any other crops. If you do that, the same thing that happened to those who are wearing a woman wearing a man's attire, you have committed that sacrilege as well. If you go ahead, you will find out many things. Even verse 11 is saying that do not wear clothes or clothes that is a mixed fabric, wool and linen together. So most people who are even preaching that if a woman wears trouser, then it's abominable or abomination unto the Lord, and they preach against. Most of the preachers are wearing multicolored dress. They themselves, they are already fallen victim to the scripture. Now, if you look at it from this dimension, you should know that you should not argue about this particular thing, in the sense that every scripture in the Old Testament that doesn't point to Christ or bring Christ out, you don't need to worry yourself about it. These are ceremonious and ritualistic laws in the Old Testament. But let me handle verse 5. If you knew a background check, you find out that when the people were traveling to the promised land, God was warning them about they should not look for any strange gods. They should serve the strange gods of the Amorites and other nations. It is believed that this type of dress, man wearing a woman dress and a woman wearing a man dress, has to do with idol worship in the then world. It is believed that there was a god called Zeus, and it's a sensual god. It has to do with a god that connects to sex. And what do happen in the then world was that they have a special attire, which is designed in such a way that a man will wear an attire that belongs to a woman. It's especially designed. And a woman will also wear a special attire that is designed for a man. And the idea is that when they wear this dress, they have a special dance and activities they do to invoke the sexual god into manifestation. So that particular dress was designed for idol worship. And the Lord is saying that the women should not wear that dress that pertains to, because it's a dress designed for men. My women will wear it, the men's one, and the men will wear the women's one, according to the starter of the day and their programs on that particular boss. And they will get themselves involved in a special dancing to invoke the spirit of sexuality so that they can just continue with their nocturnal activity. And that kind of dress, the Lord is warning the Israelites that the women should not wear that dress because it's designed in the form of a very type of dress. and they use it for idol worship. And the idea of abomination onto that dress has to do with a certain kind of upper or dress designed for idol worship. So the idea has to do with idol worship, a special dress for idol worship. There's no mention of trouser, there's no mention of any other thing. And for that matter, that has nothing to do with trouser. So preachers that are preaching against trouser, you should do proper research. Nevertheless, we are not saying that people should dress anyhow to entice other people. No. Every true believer or Christian will dress decently. But the scripture is not talking about trouser. So if they talk about trouser, they are female trouser as well. And every child of God would dress decently. We are not trying to promote sharpened dress or any other thing. But this scripture has nothing to do with structure. Trouser. And people must not, crucify people when they see them preaching, wearing trouser. There has been many preachers outside the roadside that preach that anybody wearing trouser is going to hell straight. That is not right in the sense of interpretational dimension. So that scripture has to do with a particular dress designed for a woman. It's a female dress, a male dress designed for a female, and they used to dance to invoke evil, worship. It was idolatry. And the Lord said it's abomination. So the women and the men of the Israelites or Israel should not thank the Gentiles and put on that dress to serve their strange gods. So that is what it has to do. It has nothing to do with trouser. There is no mention of trouser. And if you say it is trouser, women should not wear trouser. Then the verses, number 5, is also saying that no one should wear a multicolored dress. And most preachers that preach at this wearing of trouser, most of them, you see that they are wearing multicolored dress. They themselves have already fallen victim to the center. So it has nothing to do with trouser. And he goes ahead and said that, I think verse number 9, he says that he should not plant 2 crops in one land. It's equally abomination unto the Lord. So why would we emphasize on the trouser when trouser was not mentioned? And we forgot about the kind of dress we wear. The preacher man is wearing multicolored, woolen and linen. And the Bible is also saying the same chapter, it's abominable. So the trouser, it has nothing to do with trouser, and it has nothing to do with any dress. It was a specific dress designed for idol worship in the then world. And this was sensual gods, and God for who activate and stimulate sexual activities. And when you wear that particular dress, a woman will wear the male one, and a female will wear a man will wear the woman one. And that is the criteria of the dress, and they will begin to enter into that particular dance to remove the spirit into oppression. And the other thing that follows will continue. And it was an abominable washing against the Lord was speaking against it. It has nothing to do with trouser. Thank you very much.